Hello, hello. Happy Monday. It is Monday. Wow. I don't know what happened to the weekend, but it seemed like it went by super duper fast. Is that true for anybody else? Well, I'm going to double check on my page, see if anyone is jumping on the live. I have a really hard time trying to do both at the same time. Trying to get better about that, but welcome to this week's edition of Mind Shift Monday. Today I'm talking about what we think matters. First Thessalonians 5:23 says, it says, now may the God of peace make you holy in every way, and may your whole spirit, soul, and body be kept blameless until our Lord Jesus Christ comes again. We are spirit, we are soul, and we are body. We aren't body, soul, spirit. The Bible says spirit, soul, and body. So when we talk about mindset and mind shifting, there's so much power when we start to look at the positive of things. We want to come to that wholeness of all three: spirit, soul, and body. But today what we're talking about here is the power of positive thinking. So what happens, I say this thing in the description: life is for us. It's all a matter of perspective. What lens do we have on? Are we looking at life through the lens of, oh, just waiting for the shoe to drop, just waiting for the next bad thing to happen? If we're looking at life from that negative perspective, what's going to happen? What we think about grows. Basic brain science. What we think about grows. So the power of positive thinking is, what if we were to think of life is happening for me, not to me? Because when life is happening to you, now it's super easy to shift from the positive to the negative. And now you're looking for the negative, expecting the negative to happen to you. But there's a lot more power. And when we look at it with a different lens, whoa, life is for me. It's not just happening to me. So if you're a Bible reading person like me, when Peter saw Jesus walking on the water, he said, "Jesus, can I join you?" He was super impulsive. I love Peter. I can relate to him. I'm a doer, not just a thinker or he's a doer. So basically I relate to him a lot. So he jumps out of the water, not even thinking about it, because he has the expectation, this is my Lord. He's seen him do crazy, incredible miracles all through this time. This wasn't, he saw so many different miracles that Jesus did. Without even thinking, he jumps out of the boat and starts to walk on water. He's walking on the water until what happens? He switches his lens from knowing that he knows that Jesus is the Lord. He's the miraculous things. He's the Messiah. He starts to instead of looking at Jesus, he starts looking at the waves. And now he starts to sink, right? It's so similar to that. When we are looking at life as happening to us, not for us, we're looking at life expecting the next shoe to drop, the next negative thing to happen. We look at life from that lens. Now we're expecting, and there's the law of attraction. I'm not sure how that's biblical, but I do know what you think about grows. So the more you're looking for life happening to you and the negative, you see it, more of it, because that's what you're looking at. If I was to say, hey, picture an apple in your head right now, most of you would probably see a red apple all of a sudden. Well, some of you might see an Apple computer. Everyone's different, right? But it's a matter of what perspective, what lens are we looking at? We can actually control and start to create that positive thinking by practice, right? So I love that thoughts that fire together, wire together, but you could also unwire them. So I want to give the mind shift today of life is happening for us, not to us, and the power of positive thinking. Stop the negative thinking. You guys, we can't always control the thoughts that come to us, but we can 100% control whether we let that thought stay there. So if you notice you feel like everything's bad happening to you, just can't get a break, this is bad's happening, that's bad's happening. Now you're like Peter, you're on the walk on the water. Now you're starting to sink because your eyes are off of Jesus. Your eyes are on your circumstances. It's super easy when life is crazy, you guys, when things are happening, very difficult, very hard things. I'm not saying it's not real. I'm not saying we pretend it's not happening. We have to allow our heart to process the things in life. But what I am saying is that we cannot shift from the perspective and the proper lens of power, the power of positive thinking, and recognizing life is for us, not happening to us. So we have to take some time to think about, whoa, wait, what was that? I was just expecting this bad to happen. Well, what's the good happen? And for me, I always like to ask God, what are you doing? What are you doing right here? Even in the midst of the crazy happening, things that you cannot even begin to understand. It's that power of the positive thinking, shifting from looking for and expecting the negative to shifting and looking for the positive. Because even with our health journey, okay, you guys, our health journey is that what if, right, you have this goal in mind. I have this goal, and you have a total blow it day. You have ice cream and pizza and chocolate, and you're like, what just happened? Dang it. And now you're kicking yourself. The shame and the guilt is kicking in, and you're like, I can't recover this day. And now I'm a failure. You start, all the negative thinking starts coming in. Oh, I can't do this. Nothing works for me. But what if at that moment we focus on the positive? Okay, this happened. I can't take it back. I already ate the stuff. I'm not gonna, I pray that you don't do that thing. It already happens behind me. I can't change the past, but right now, right here, to go shift from the negative to the positive, what is one thing I can learn from what happened today? Let me think back. Let me retrace my steps. When the thought came in, man, you need a bag of chips right now. You need to have that pizza. Man, you need the ice cream. And all those thoughts came in. What was happening? Ooh, I was feeling stress. I was sad. I was bored. Oh, well, that makes sense. So now I learn that when I feel stressed, I have created that thoughts that fire to get a wire together. Ooh, I need to have, comfort food. What if we shifted from that and go, oh, wait, I recognize it. Now I recognize, ooh, when I am stressed, when I am bored, or when I'm in pain or hurting, I'm going for the comfort food. Now you recognize, I'm learning that though I can unwire those thoughts. So next time I feel stress or sadness or boredom, I'm going to go for a power walk for 5 minutes. I'm going to do some sit-ups. I'm going to go grab a bag of carrots and munch on those. And the crunch, maybe put some salt on there, some Himalayan salt. So I have the crunch and the salty. You have to figure, if you're learning something, you're still growing, and that means you're still winning. It's a power of positive thinking. It's a power of shifting our focus, shifting from the negative to the positive. It doesn't happen overnight, you guys. Just like if we're 50 pounds overweight, we didn't gain the 50 pounds overnight. We're not going to lose it overnight. Just like if I spent so much of my life living in that negative stinking thinking that it's taken me a minute, you guys, to retrain my brain to unwire the things I wired together to create the power of the positive thinking that knows I'm never losing. I'm always winning as long as I'm learning. If I can take one thing I can learn from this situation, then it's not a negative, it's a positive. Because now I believe in Romans 8:28 that the Lord works all things for good for those who love God, are called according to his purpose. So that means when the negative happens, okay, Lord, what are you doing? And where's the positive? Because you work all things for my good. So for me, I'm going to lean in and go, okay, what's the one thing I'm learning right here? What are you growing in me? Where are you taking me higher, Lord? Right? It's that expectation that God is only good and he only has good plans for us. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, to give you a hope and a future. So I want to encourage you today, if you're getting stuck in the stinking thinking, today, this very day, September 18th, 2023, you're going to start shifting your thinking. Life is for me, not happening to me. What can I learn from this? And start shifting to the power of positive thinking, because that's going to change everything. It's going to put a new lens on. It's going to change your expectation. It's going to change so many things in your life, including your health and wellness journey, because it's not just about what we eat or what we drink or the exercise we do. It's about what's going on in here. And what's going on in here, that guard your heart above all else. It determines the course of your life. right? We have to guard our thoughts, guard our heart, because that's what we're called to do so we don't fall into stinking thinking. So that's my Mind Shift Monday for today. Let me know how this works for you. What can I get from this? What am I learning? And start to pay attention to the thoughts and the stinking thinking and shift it from the negative to the positive. Now you're renewing your mind, which God tells us to do, which is going to change everything. It's going to change your relationships, going to change your intimacy with the Lord and other people, and even yourself. It's going to change how you look at things in life. It's going to change your own wellness journey, because now you're growing and you're learning. You're not being stuck in the guilt and shame and the beating ourselves up for the things that don't look perfect. It's a mind shift and a different perspective. You are so worth the effort. I just bless you with this. I love to hear how this lands for your heart. Does it feel doable? Start to notice, catch yourself, look for it, look for the good. Life is for me, not happening to me. Look for, what am I learning? If I'm learning, I'm growing. That means I am winning. So I bless you with it. You guys have an amazing rest of your evening. And I can't wait to hear how this lands for you. Talk to you soon. All right. Bye-bye.